In 1984, one performance changed pop culture forever. A 26-year-old woman rolled across the MTV VMA stage wearing a wedding dress. She wore a crucifix on her chest, and her belt clearly said "boy toy." Parents felt afraid, and they said she was a bad example for kids. Religious leaders felt angry, and they said she was attacking faith. And this moment was only the beginning. 5 years later, Pepsi cancelled a $5 million deal in one day. The Vatican publicly condemned her, and several countries banned her music. News outlets waited for her to say sorry. She never apologized, and she never backed down. That same song became her biggest hit in history. So why did every attack make her more powerful? For more than 40 years, Madonna faced book burnings, arrest threats, and headlines saying her career was over. She was called dangerous, satanic, and finished again and again. But the end never came. Every fight made her richer, and every scandal made her more famous. This is not a story about a singer surviving criticism. This is the story about how Madonna turned criticism on its head and turned it into something she could control. From arriving in New York with $35 to shaping pop culture across the world, Madonna versus the world was never one single moment in time. It was a 40-year battle. Exploring how she won gives us insight into the real Madonna, a glimpse into her inner world, and explains everything that is to come next. This is Madonna versus the world. New York, $35 and deliberate ambiguity. Madonna arrived in New York City with $35 and no safety net. She worked at Dunkin' Donuts and lived in small apartments with no heat. She posed nude for live drawing sessions in art classes around the city just to pay rent and survive. Looking in, nothing about this life looked like the future fame she was about to experience. But for Madonna, she was planning ahead. In 1982, Madonna released her first song called Everybody. The song had no photo and no clear identity attached to it. Some black radio stations played it thinking she was black. Some white radio stations played it thinking she was white. It didn't matter because both sides made her famous. Madonna understood that mystery creates attention. She gave the world a voice and a beat, but not herself. When her face finally appeared, some people felt tricked and angry. She did not care because the song was already a hit. Soon after, Borderline and Lucky Star pushed her into the mainstream. Her look became impossible to ignore. Teenage girls copied her style, while parents complained loudly. Critics said she could not sing and had no talent. But the charts told a different story. Because Madonna was not just being heard anymore, she was being seen. And that changed everything. Like a Virgin, the performance that made parents panic. On September 14, 1984, Madonna walked onto the MTV Video Music Awards stage. She wore a wedding dress and veil, and her belt clearly said "boy toy." She sang like a virgin while rolling on the stage floor. She moved her body in a way live television had never shown before. Parents reacted with fear and anger. Religious groups said the performance was dirty and wrong. Critics said she was desperate for attention. MTV ratings shot up immediately. The performance was not meant to be quiet or polite. Madonna took the idea of female virginity and turned it upside down. The wedding dress showed what society expected from women. Rolling on the floor showed that she refused those rules. This was not an accident. Backlash came within hours. Parents' groups started boycotts and protests. Religious leaders called her a bad influence on children. Media said her career would end within a year. But the song hit #1 on the charts. The album sold 21 million copies worldwide. Madonna became impossible to escape. What critics missed was the real point. Male rock stars had done this for years without punishment. Madonna did it once and became a villain. She saw the double standard clearly, and she decided to push even harder next time. Like a prayer, when Pepsi and the Vatican both lost, Madonna signed a $5 million deal with Pepsi, which was huge at the time. The commercial aired during the Grammy Awards and reached 250 million viewers. The ad felt safe, happy, and family-friendly. Then the music video released. The video showed burning crosses and bloody wounds on her hands. It showed Madonna kissing a black Jesus figure. Churches reacted with anger and shock. The Vatican publicly condemned her. Pepsi cancelled the deal within 24 hours. Madonna kept the $5 million anyway. She did not apologize and did not explain herself. Instead, she let the video speak for itself. The message was clear to anyone watching. Religion does not own spirituality. Protests spread across multiple countries. Several nations banned the video completely. The Vatican told Catholics not to attend her concerts. MTV played the video non-stop because ratings exploded. Like a Prayer became her biggest hit ever at that time. The album sold 15 million copies worldwide. Madonna proved that controversy could make money. She also proved it could force hard conversations. The debate became bigger than the song itself, and Madonna was just getting started. Blond Ambition tour, simulated masturbation and arrest threats. The Blond Ambition tour became one of the most controversial tours ever. Madonna wore the cone bra designed by Jean-Paul Gaultier. During Like a Virgin, she performed simulated masturbation on a bed. She kissed women on stage and mixed religious symbols with pop music. The reaction was immediate and intense. The Pope urged Catholics to boycott her concerts. In Toronto, police warned they might arrest her during the show. Madonna did not step back or change the performance. She made the controversy part of the show. Each night sent a clear message to the crowd. Female sexuality is not shameful. Queer love belongs on the main stage. Pop concerts can be art. Critics called the tour pornographic and dangerous. Fans called it freeing and powerful. The tour earned $62 million worldwide. Cameras followed her everywhere for truth or dare. The film showed Madonna in full control behind the scenes. She made the decisions and gave the orders. The movie earned $29 million in theaters. The arrest threat in Toronto never happened. Instead, media attention grew even larger. Ticket sales jumped higher. Madonna proved that censorship creates attention, and attention creates power. Vogue, cultural appropriation or celebration. In 1990, Madonna released a song called Vogue. The song pulled moves from Harlem ballroom culture, created by Black and Latino queer dancers. These dancers competed in underground voguing battles for respect and survival. Most of America had never seen this world before. Madonna put it on MTV. She featured Jose and Luis Extravaganza in the video. The song reached #1 around the world. Suddenly, everyone was voguing. For many dancers, this meant visibility for the first time. For others, it felt like their culture was taken. Ballroom had existed for decades in hidden spaces. It was built by people pushed out of society. Madonna brought it to white suburbs and global screens. Some called it celebration and respect. Others called it exploitation for profit. The song sold millions of copies worldwide. The dancers were credited and paid, which was rare then. But Madonna became the face of voguing, not the community. Years later, shows like Pose told the deeper story. But in 1990, Madonna was the gateway. She said visibility helped the culture survive and grow. Critics said success came without sharing the real struggle. Both sides had a point. The debate never ended, and her next move would be even more explosive. Sex book and erotica, the career-ending move that wasn't. In October 1992, Madonna released 3 projects at the same time. She dropped the erotica album, the film Body of Evidence, and the book called Sex. The book showed explicit photos taken by Stephen Meisel. It included nudity, bondage, and same-sex scenes. Madonna appeared as a character named Mistress Dita. The book cost $50 and came sealed in plastic. Media reaction was instant and harsh. Headlines called it pornographic career suicide. This was Madonna's most direct challenge yet. There were no symbols or hints this time. Everything was clear, sexual, and confrontational. Critics said she had gone too far. Saturday Night Live banned her appearances. Radio stations refused to play erotica. Conservative groups burned the book in protest. The message everywhere was the same. Madonna was finished. But the numbers told a different story. The sex book sold 1.5 million copies. At $50 each, it made $75 million. The erotica album went platinum. The tour sold out arenas. Feminists began a huge public debate. Some called it sexual empowerment. Others called it self-exploitation. While critics argued, Madonna stepped away silently. And when she returned, nothing about her was the same. Ray of Light, Reinvention, as survival strategy. 6 years after the sex book backlash, Madonna returned with a new album. The album was called Ray of Light. The sound was electronic and ambient, not pop shock music. She worked with William Orbit, an underground producer at the time. Madonna was now a mother. She openly talked about spirituality and Kabbalah. The music focused on reflection and inner change. People did not expect this version of her. Critics who mocked her for years suddenly paid attention. Some even gave standing ovations. Ray of Light showed that controversy was not her only skill. Madonna proved she could evolve instead of repeat herself. She did not chase trends. She changed direction completely. The album won 4 Grammy Awards. One of them was Best Pop Album. This came after years of being ignored and dismissed. Ray of Light sold 20 million copies worldwide. For the first time, critics and fans agreed at the same time. Madonna had won on new terms. But there was a smart move behind this change. She did not stop being bold. She added depth instead of shock. And once she proved her seriousness, she was ready to shock the world again. Confessions and ageism. Too old to be sexy. Madonna released an album called Confessions on a Dance Floor. The lead song Hung Up sampled ABBA and became a global #1 hit. The album delivered pure dance music with no apologies. The tour earned $194 million worldwide. But the media focused on something else. They talked about her arms and her age. They asked if a 47-year-old woman should dress this way. The tone shifted from music to judgment. Male stars aged without question. Men performed shirtless for decades and were called legends. Madonna did the same and was called desperate. Headlines mocked plastic surgery rumors. Stories focused on her dating younger men. The message was clear. She was too old to be sexy. Despite this, Confessions sold 10 million copies worldwide. The tour became one of the highest grossing ever. Madonna proved she was still commercially powerful, but the criticism grew more personal and cruel. The problem was no longer the music, it was misogyny in plain sight. Madonna did not respond with words. She responded by working more. Every insult was followed by another record broken. And the pattern was impossible to ignore. Weaponizing controversy, the strategy that built an empire. Madonna did not just survive controversy. She planned it carefully. Album releases often matched shocking moments. Controversial content appeared at exact strategic times. When MTV banned Justify My Love, she did not panic. She sold the video directly to fans instead. It became the best-selling video single ever. The pattern stayed the same every time. She provoked the system on purpose. The system reacted with anger and bans. Public attention exploded worldwide. Sales followed immediately. When Like a Prayer caused outrage, albums sold faster. When The Sex Book was burned, copies sold out. When Blond Ambition faced arrest threats, tickets disappeared. Madonna understood a simple truth. Conversation creates attention. Attention creates power. She used censorship as a tool, not a threat. Radio edits pushed fans toward explicit versions. Banned album covers became front-page news. Blocked tours made her even more famous. But this strategy went beyond money. Each scandal forced society to face hard questions about women, power, faith, and freedom, and the world was never the same again. The blueprint: how Madonna shaped modern pop stars. Look at today's biggest pop stars closely. Lady Gaga's theatre and shock performances follow Madonna's path. Beyoncé's business control and visual albums reflect Madonna's model. Miley Cyrus's sexual freedom and reinvention echo Madonna's moves. Ariana Grande's voguing and queer culture support trace back to Madonna. The influence is everywhere. Madonna changed what was once career-ending for women. She made female sexual expression acceptable in pop music. She demanded full creative control over her work. She treated music videos like short films, not ads. She used fashion as identity, not decoration. She reinvented herself every few years without losing fans. In 1992, she founded Maverick Records. That move helped artists own their work and voice. No female pop star had done this before her. Madonna proved longevity was possible. Before her, women peaked and disappeared quickly. She turned pop fame into a 40-year career. Her lesson was simple and powerful. Evolve instead of repeat. Control your image instead of trusting managers. Tell your story before the media does. This is why Madonna still matters, because Madonna versus the world never ended. The pattern keeps repeating, and Madonna keeps standing. In 1984, Madonna rolled on the floor during Like a Virgin. Parents panicked and critics laughed, but she became a superstar. In 1989, Like a Prayer angered the Vatican and lost Pepsi. She kept $5 million and gained her biggest hit. In 1990, Blond Ambition faced arrest threats and boycotts. The tour still made millions of dollars. In 1992, The Sex Book was called Career Suicide. It sold 1.5 million copies. In 1998, Ray of Light changed everything. She won Grammys and respect at the same time. In 2005, ageism targeted her body and clothes. The tour earned $194 million. In 2012, she ruled the Super Bowl halftime show. 114 million people watched. The pattern never changed. Provocation brought backlash. Backlash brought attention. Attention brought victory. Madonna turned censorship into profit. She turned controversy into marketing. She turned criticism into control. She kept full creative power over her work. She never let gatekeepers define her. She evolved when others repeated themselves. She exposed double standards again and again. This is the truth. Madonna versus the world is not history. It is a 40-year pattern, and it never stopped working. From a wedding dress performance to religious outrage, Madonna faced the world for 4 decades. She fought media attacks, moral panic, and cultural control, and she won every time. Her strategy was simple and clear. She controlled the story, used backlash, and kept evolving. She normalized creative freedom, queer visibility, and female power in pop music. This is why Madonna versus the world still matters today. If this changed how you see Madonna's impact, share this video. Subscribe for more deep stories about culture and power. Comment which Madonna moment shocked you the most.